Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, social media. So, this is really a follow-up to a video I did a couple of years ago. This is just to really reiterate it out there that there are several social media platforms for this great game. Championship Manager 0102, 24 years of age now. Big milestone, of course, in 11 months' time where it's going to hit its 25th birthday. But just to remind you on a few things about what's available to you social media wise, there is plenty of Facebook groups. Now, I can't show you that because I'm currently banned from Facebook. Well, supposedly I'm permanently banned from Facebook, so I can't actually show you that. But hey ho. But there is plenty of Facebook groups. Now, be careful when you go to Facebook groups because there's a lot of fraudulent ones out there. If you can, before you choose whichever group you want to interact with, I would look at the sort of content that's being posted, get yourself a feel for it. But in terms of the ones that I can describe to you about it, what is available to you, something that I run myself, we've got a Discord Championship Manager 0102 server, which is right here. If you want a link to that, let me know. The reason I say that is because the link expires every 3 days. The invite link, I think that's quite common with Discord. So let me know and I will chuck a comment in if you want it. There's no point in me leaving one up there because it just gets invalid. So let me know and I run that anyway. It's not the most active server in the world, in all fairness. You know, it goes through moments, and it's not the biggest thing in the world. You know, it's just a little side project I started myself with some support from Mark Whitaker. But you know, it's just another element of social media. You know, that's the short and long of it. And of course, if you want, you can DM me directly on there as well, or if you want, you can ask me for a direct DM in the comments for Discord, and I can do. Now, Discord, the thing is, right, if it was as popular as Facebook, I would do more streams on Discord because there is no lagging on Discord. You don't even need to use OBS. The streaming concept is fucking brilliant on Discord. Okay, so the other things that are available, of course, and these are obviously the most important ones, are the forums. Now, I'm going to repeat a few things here, and I'm going to just reiterate, really. I created a set of forums recently, just about 5 weeks ago, and I created this, again, as a sideline. Now, I did not create these to rival the official forums. I did this, somebody gave me the idea, right? Mike, you ever thought about setting up a set of forums? And I thought, no, I don't know if I've got the patience, there's a lot to it, and there is a lot to it, but do you know what? I thought, do you know what, fuck it, you know, I'll do it. And it's not to create a knee-jerk, as it was eloquently pointed out. It was, I think, for the person that said this is a bit of a knee-jerk, because I set this up whilst the main forums were going through some technical difficulties and some maintenance, and I think for somebody to say, oh, this is a bit of a knee-jerk, is a twatty comment to make. I think it's a twatty comment, and I don't really give a shit, really, if that person's thinking, why you got to be so, you know, that is a twatty comment to make. It really is. You know, and I said this before. So my set of forums, right, they're nothing big. They're a small scale, and this is it right here. The link is in the description, I believe. If you need, I think I put it as a default. But I'm not claiming to say this is the bollocks. You know, it's just a sideline. And again, I've got some support from Mark Whitaker on this, which is Marijo. Mark is doing some bit. Neil's doing some bits, doing a bit of feedback. Neil is Virgil van Beek. You know, and even now, I'm still adding stuff to this. You know, it takes time. And something Mark said, right, and I think Mark Whitaker, and a real valid point. This forum has come under a bit of scrutiny lately. Somebody was bitching about it on the official forums and saying, oh, it's a load of shit. Well, do you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. Now, if you think it's shit, then fuck off. I don't give a shit. I don't give two flying fucks, right, what people think, right? And somebody else said, this forum, the old forum, this is much better. This is 1 month old. And something Mark said, right, and it was such a good way of describing it, right? When Microsoft was created, after 1 month, was everyone saying, this is amazing. No, they wouldn't have been, because it was a month old. Do you know what I mean? And it just makes me laugh, right? It's almost quite immature. You shouldn't have another forums. It's not, shouldn't do that. Fuck off. You know, fucking grow up, basically. You know. You know, I think, right, there's a lot of potential here, and it could take years, it could take fucking years. You've got to remember, this is a game, and I'm not disputing about the old forums, at all, okay? That's a short and long of mine. Now let's go to the old ones. Now, I don't dispute here that this is the official forums, and I've never said anything different to that, okay? It's all up and running, and I think credit where it's due here to the guy that runs this set of forums. Is also, his name is Mark, a different Mark, and he's been real busy, because this has had a bit of an infestation of spam accounts, and they've been absolute wankers, these spam accounts, fucking nightmare. And I think credit where it's due to Mark, he's spent some quality time to get this back on the road. And as you can see, he set up an announcement thread there, the road to the 25th anniversary, which is what I said at the start. You know, this time next year, it's going to be 25 years. And I think it's the right thing to do for Mark. Now, I'm part of the admin team on this, to do with networkplay. Now, if somebody had a real issue with me on the old forums about me having a sideline, then I'd rather them say it to my face, if I'm really honest with you, because I really couldn't give a shit. You know, I just think it shows the calibre of anybody who thinks it's not right. I mean, I've said this before. It's a bit like saying when you get that fucking corner shop open up next to another corner shop, well, what's the point? You don't hear them crying. You know, you can't tell me there isn't room for two forums. Do you know what I mean? Now, this is a much, much bigger scale. This is also funded by donations. You know, I don't plan to do any of that, you know, which means I don't plan to have the features of what's available here, because some of the features are phenomenal around here. This is free to... they're both free to register, both sets of forums, but let's talk about this one for a minute. They're free to register. I think you've got to verify your email, and there is a lot of side stuff as well, some interactive stuff as well. And I think it's great. It really is great. And I think, you know, the game is all about keeping the game alive. And I love that statement right there. I emphasise that statement particularly for when you play network games, keeping the game alive. You know, I think it's really, really important. Now, there is one other thing I'm going to say, right? As opposed to my forums, I don't really like using the term my forums or new forums, I'm really honest. So I try and say mine, just so you know who I'm talking about, and the old forums. I don't really like to say old, because that makes it look like it was fucking ancient. We'll call it official. So the official forums have all your available downloads, as you know. All the databases that have been released over the last, I want to say 16 years. All the patches, blah, 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 blah. Now, I, at no point, will host any of them, especially without any sort of permission. However, I thought to myself, right, okay, I'm not going to be a cunt and say I'll start uploading, because I've got no right to do that. That being said, what I did do is I did contact the one and only, the very own Nick and Co. Nick and Co is a guy from these forums. Nick is a guy who's responsible for the Nick Patcher. And I asked Nick, did he mind me posting his work? And I said, I totally get it if he'd rather not. And he says, no, I'm absolutely fine. And I said to him, you know, naturally, I will state that it's his work. So my little disclaimer at the bottom there, I own no rights to this work, but have obtained permission to share via the original creator, the one and only Nick. Now, you know, I just think, you know, as long as I follow the correct procedure, which I believe that is the correct procedure, then I'm not doing anything wrong. And I just think somebody might come across, you know, you can be in both forums. There might be something on this forum, my set, that you might think, I really like that idea. Like, for example, I'll give you an example here, right? I'll put a section here, right, called Under 18s, Wikipedia. I'm not going to go on to that, because the jokes might not be for everyone, but what it says on the tin. Now, you might be on this forum and think, I'd love to see some sick jokes, you know what, and then you get snowflakes and stuff. So, you know, there are lots of stuff, you know, still available. I will say one other thing. What I have put on my own is under downloads. I know somebody might have already spotted downloads, so I will show you the downloads. The only downloads we've got at the minute are a couple of tactics and 2 databases, which were my own creations, which was a Sky One Dream Team Harchester United database right there, and a World Super League. And I've got a couple of tactics as well. The tactics, as you can see, they can be downloaded directly from the site right there. Okay, I've only just worked out how to do all that shit. I'm still learning, and in all honesty, right, as I learn more and more, I respect just how much work other Mark Henderson, has got to do on this. I realise just how much he's got to do. So that's really the short and long of all the social media. Now there are Twitter and Instagram and X CM pages and stuff out there. I think one of the guys from these forums, Ebfats, I think he's got a channel as well, YouTube channel. He runs a social media. So if you find Ebfats over here somewhere, you'll be able to, trying to think actually, I thought I might be able to find him actually directly, but I can't remember where I can get everyone's team. I totally forget where it is, and I think I'm just having a bit of a fucking mind blank. No, do you know what? I can't remember. It has all the team members and what they do. But he does social media, and predominantly I felt that he does a lot of social media stuff that I don't even register, like the old Twitter, and that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of TikTok. There's a guy who does streams on TikTok. His name is, got some letters and Coys, Coys, as in come on you Spurs. Now that's not the same Coys that's on these forums, I don't think. Now, in all honesty, I don't like the guy's streams. If I'm really honest, I don't really watch them. I've watched a few, and I don't agree with the way he plays. And it's one of these things, really. If someone doesn't like something, then don't watch it. If you don't, and that's my philosophy. If someone don't like me, then don't listen to me. So, and that's my theory. But it does mean there is a market. He's out there on TikTok and Twitch as well. He just streams over there, and the very best of luck to him. I'm not a big fan of his content, as he might not be about mine. Just like the YouTube. So YouTube then, with social media, you've got my YouTube obviously. There are other YouTube, I think there's CM Mario, and of course there is another one whose name I refuse to mention, who does content, complete bullshit content, cheating motherfucker. I'm not going to give his name because I can't stand him. And there are, I think it's each to their own how people play the game. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so that's that then, guys. That is our social media update on the legendary game. And until next time from me, guys, is take it easy.